We are currently at the second step of the test creation wizard, where you can define the desired test settings. Test templates are saved configurations that can be loaded when creating new tests. You can use one of the previously created test templates by choosing it from the drop-down menu, and all saved test configurations will be automatically applied. Alternatively, you can manually define your settings one by one. Here, you can time limit your test. By default, the test has no time limit, but you can restrict it either per question or by specifying the total time for all questions. If you choose the time per question option, time for each question will be applied as defined during the question creation. If you choose the time to answer all questions option, here you can define the total duration of the test. You can also determine how the questions will be displayed during the test taking. You can display each question on a separate page or all questions at once. Next, you can choose when the report will be displayed to candidates. In this case, candidates will see the report after the test manager grades all questions that require manual grading. If the test is proctored, and the Require Positive Proctoring Report option is enabled in the grading step of the test creation wizard, the report will not be visible to candidates until the proctor grades the test. In this case, candidates will see the report immediately after completing the test, although the report may not be fully graded. If this option is chosen, candidates will see the report once the test manager verifies their attempt. After verification, any subsequent changes to test settings, like grading changes, won't impact the candidate's achieved result. In this case, candidates will see the report after the test manager approves it. The report can be approved for all candidates at once, or for each candidate separately. Finally, if you select this option, the questions will be graded in real time, and during the test-taking process, candidates will see the changes in their test scores after submitting each answer. The next option allows you to define the content of the report displayed to candidates. You can choose whether the report will display only the score, or also provide a preview of the given and correct answers for each question. If you're using workspaces, you can assign the test to specific ones. This restricts access to users within those workspaces. Check this option if you want to enable proctoring on your test. In this case, a specialized proctoring tool is used to prevent cheating on the test. To see advanced test settings, click this button. Here you can define what the candidates will see in the dialog displayed when starting the test. Check this option, and users cannot start the test without acknowledging the instructions. You can choose to display predefined instructions that users must read before the test. You can also display the time available for the users to complete the test, the passing mark required to be achieved to pass the test, and the number of questions in the test. If retakes are allowed, you can display how many times users can retake the test. Here is the next section of test settings. Enabling this option will allow users to save their answers, pause, and continue the test later within the test's availability period. By checking this option, users can retake the test during the test availability period. You can limit this option by defining the limit for test attempts and setting the number of attempts and the time between attempts. Additionally, you can define a time frame during which candidates can retake. For instance, if set to 10 days, retakes can only be done within the following 10 days after the initial attempt. You can also allow test retaking only for failed attempts, meaning that the retake option won't be available for candidates who pass the test. Furthermore, you can restrict the number of free reschedules. Candidates must request additional reschedules once exhausted. The next section shows additional possibilities that candidates can use. You can allow candidates to use an I don't know option to avoid negative points. Candidates will see feedback when they move to the next question. Feedback should be defined during the question creation process. Enable this to provide instant feedback on selected answers. Check this option to display question attachments to candidates during the test. Attachments should also be set up during question creation. Check this option to show question metadata to candidates, such as question points and difficulty level. You can allow candidates to take notes during the test. These notes are visible only to the candidate during the test. Check this option if you want to include them in the report for both instructors and candidates. Also, you can check this option to allow candidates to leave feedback on each question during the test-taking process. If you choose this option, candidates will be reminded to answer all questions before completing the test. However, they can still choose to finish the test by clicking the Finish Anyway button. Check this option, and candidates won't be able to go back to previous questions while taking the test. When this option is enabled, candidates can't change their answers once selected. This applies to single choice, multiple choice, and true-false questions. If this option is checked, the candidates will be required to log out of the application after test completion. Check this option to prevent candidates from copying, cutting, saving, or printing anything during the test. The web browser will also be in full screen mode, and minimizing it will terminate the test attempt. Check this option to hide metadata, like logo, assignment type, location, and certificate names, from the assignments page. Then, set how long candidates can view question details after opening their personal report for the first time. This option requires updating personal information when starting the test. Finally, you can limit access to the test only to people within your local network. After configuring all desired settings, click the Next button to proceed to the next step of the test creation wizard. Please refer to the user manual and demo videos for more detailed information on each option.